Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be teaching you about ActiveCampaign pipelines, how to make them, and when and why to use them. My name is Diamond. I'm the founder of Bitch to Boss business coaching for female entrepreneurs, and let's get started. All right everybody, the purpose of using a pipeline is manyfold. What you're looking at right now is a pipeline. You build pipelines by going to this $ here on the left, and then you select this caret here, add a pipeline. So I'm just going to put in test pipeline here to show you and teach you. So you want to name the pipeline though according to the purpose of the pipeline. So pipelines do many different things for us. Pipelines are a way of tracking progress through which a customer comes into your funnel, into your awareness, all the way until they either become an active customer or they do not. So basically these various areas are called stages. And so you might set the first stage to be something like customer phone call. And this would mean that every time a customer basically calls your particular business, you would add them as a deal. A customer is a deal. So I'm going to put in test deal here. We can't enter a contact into ActiveCampaign without putting in a email. So I'm just going to put in a fake dummy email here. And essentially then what you can do when you're, say, taking this call from a customer, you can open the customer, you can take some notes about the call here and add that. So you can kind of track then basically what you actually talk to the customer about. The other thing that is good to do is when you are talking to a customer, in this example, you can add a task. So if you open it, we can hit add a task, and it could be call back in 1 week. You know, whatever you decided your customer you would do, and then you want to set that about a week from today, and then you'll see here that you have a task right here to call them in a week. And you can also see now that shows up under the 8 days, saying 8 days from now you have to call this person. So if I hit this gear button, I can also edit this stage, and the next phase might be something like, say they need to fill out a form, or whatever the next phase is for their journey from finding out about your business all the way to basically becoming a customer. So you might have become a customer here. So basically, if they are, say they called your office, and basically you write them, you put them in as a test deal here, and now you need them to fill out a form. You can click, drag, and drop here, and then you can click, drag, and drop here. Now the great thing about pipelines is that pipelines can trigger automations. So basically, say you want an automation to be triggered when they become a customer, and you want to send them emails about how to have the best success with your business, what they need to do now, the next steps. You can set this up so that every time you drop a deal into this particular stage, an automation would be automatically triggered. Say you do need them to fill out a form, you can set it up through the automation area that whenever you drop this test deal here, you can that would basically trigger an automation to fill out a particular form. You also, the other thing about pipelines is pipelines are really good for analytics. So basically, once they become a customer, you can basically click and drag up. Then you'll see these boxes won and lost show up. Essentially, if you drag them, if they became a customer, you're probably going to put them in won. If they did not, you can put them in lost. And you can actually have automations triggered by basically putting them in won or lost. So essentially, there's a few different things you probably want to have happen most likely. Typically you want to have when they're coming in and you are putting them in this initial stage here. Just by entering them as a contact here and putting their email in is not adding them to your email list. So typically what would be good to do is to come over to the automations tab and create an automation so that whenever you create a deal here into this first stage, it's automatically adding them to a list through the automations. Make sure you check out my YouTube on ActiveCampaign, how to build automations to do these sorts of things. Now, you can also set it so that basically If they are marked lost, one of the things that can be good in business is to run nurture campaigns. Nurture campaigns are basically usually designed around giving away free educational content about things related to your business, things you know about, and occasionally repitching the potential customer for a sale. So that's a way, so basically you can set it up under your automations here in the left. You can have an automation set up so that anytime you drag a deal to this lost from this pipeline, what would wind up happening is an automation could get triggered that you would have to build. And basically when you build it, you could do things like send them educational information every week or two, once a month, send them some sort of offer. So you can do all of these things within the context of the automations. So, and like I said, you look for the other YouTube for that. The other cool thing about this is when it comes to analytics. So if you want to track, for example, how many phone calls actually that came in, how many people converted to a customer, you can basically, if they converted to a customer, you would drag up to 1. If they did not, you would drag up to lost. And then you can come down to this reports. And when you go to reports, what you can do is you can go deal reports, you can go overview, and then you can basically select, say, a particular month. And then you can say, okay, well, within this particular month, we're doing our test pipeline. So you can then say how many people won, how many people lost. So you can see that 1 was created, none were won, none were lost because we didn't actually mark it as won or lost. You can see if I go to a different pipeline here, I will have different numbers, right? So if this will be actual more what you're seeing here. So in this particular pipeline, I had 34 people that entered my pipeline. I had 15 won and I had 12 lost. So that tells me basically 4 people that called my clinic, that 15 people won. So 4 people that called my business, 15 won and 12 lost. So that gives me that analytic about how that part of my business is doing. So that's basically the way to really regulate the pipelines. The pipelines are really good, like I said, for analytics, for triggering automations, for tracking the flow of your customer until they actually do become a paying customer. So from an interested customer to a paying customer. So many different things that can happen from these pipelines. So that's basically the overarching principles behind pipelines and how to use them. The other thing to make sure that you know is when you are in task, you can also assign them to certain people. So if you want to have a team member call them back, you can do that as well. And then once a task is complete, you can also mark the task complete there. So that's it for pipelines. Please check out the other YouTubes that I've made, and we'll see you in another video.